Good news then, you stuck this out as far as video 2, which means you get to hear all about what I have in mind for coaches in the ZFL. Coaches are otherwise known as you and how you exist within the game world. What I am doing is fully leaning into the idea of someone playing Blood Bowl being referred to as a coach by making you create a coach character. Now, this coach character is essentially your avatar. This is very much similar to what you would do playing an RPG, whether that's tabletop or video game, where you create a character and then make various decisions, either role-playing or otherwise, as to how that character behaves and the actions they take. The unique bit is that coaches can move teams. So if a coach leaves one team, that team will continue to exist within the league structure and will need a new coach to take over. It may be that a coach of another team decides to apply for and take that job, at which point there's then another vacancy, at which point a new coach can come in and take that, and so on and so forth. So we will, in theory, have these, not constantly, but occasionally moving parts of people taking over new teams. What this gives you the opportunity to do is something quite unique, which could be to take over a team that somebody else has previously developed and then try and develop it or shape it in your own image or the image of the character that you're playing. Of course, within the current limitations of Blood Bowl 3 and its league admin tools, this could be difficult to achieve initially, but my hope is that eventually this won't be too bad. But that remains a hope. Much like an RPG, as your coach continues through the game and coaches games and improves their skills, they can earn XP to develop themselves. I did consider calling this SCP or Star Coach Points, but it felt a bit complicated, so we're going to stick with XP because it's different enough. Unsurprisingly, everything awarded via the Coach XP system will influence the RPG side of the game because there's very little I can do to actually make you better at Blood Bowl. Coaches can earn XP through two means, one of which is through how they react to game world events. But the primary way of doing so will be the use of tactics on the field. More on tactics in the next video. Like your players and like any character in an RPG, when your coach hits certain XP thresholds, they will unlock new perks. Coaches can increase their own skill using talents or enlist the help of staff to do things for them. Again, more detail on what exactly I mean by those things in a later video. You can think of this like leveling your character in D&D. So once you level up, you'll have various options available to improve your coach that will grant permanent improvements, but you won't be able to take everything that's available to you. So you can kind of spec up your coach in whatever way suits. Now, the downside of this, because this is a game world that exists with or without your coach is not immune to the demands of the team they're in charge of. Each team will have a number of season objectives that you'll be expected to hit, and if you fail to do so, you can easily find yourself out of a job. This again leads into this idea of things happening within this league structure, within this game world, that are beyond your control, and you have to manage the best you can, in much the same way as a real sports coach would have to do. Okay, if you're still sticking with this, the next video will be on tactics and what exactly I mean by that.